In the basement of our old house in Brooklyn. In the basement, past the coal dust. In the basement, past the old furnace our father had converted to oil after, or was it during the Second World War? Past the furnace that one day exploded, leaving a hole the size of a cannonball in the asbestos and piss-poor blasted job, filling the whole house with smoke, harsh, sweet, burnt oil fumes. The furnace the fire department decided wasn't a fire hazard in spite of the hole in it. In the basement, past the pile of stakes and pup tents, canvas and canteens, bandoliers and gas masks, mustard gas covering, helmets, knapsacks, mess kits, insignia, theater of war ribbons, musty khaki mess mostly. Past the pile of junk where we used to create each and every battle of the Second World War, right off the radio, hot out of the New York Times. The pile of junk that our uncle sent to us from Hawaii, where he had gone after the FBI explained to him the advantages of officers' candidate school over Leavenworth. Wahinis and administration beat forced labor any day, he thought. Sent us pictures of flower-bedecked sweethearts to prove it. Him smiling like Clark Gable, gold bars gleaming, holstered 45 popping in our heads. Past a pile of mush and pulp, my first collection of baseball record books, my mother hid there to keep my head in the right textbooks. That pile of mush made by a broken drain pipe that flooded the whole cellar and put out the furnace. Past that pile stood an old wooden door planked like a cargo hatch opening to a wine cellar built when the neighborhood was white, therefore respectable. The whole wooden door creaked like inner sanctum mystery, room empty but for dust and dirt, old steamer trunk symptom of lying splendor, rusting in place. In the basement, past this pile. Past that pile of interesting irrelevance, in the wine cellar, unlike our grandmas filled with shiny new garbage cans of sugar, shelves of canned delicacies hoarded to beat the rationing, it was empty. But for dust, the trunk, the echoing, creaky door. Past this emptiness, through the well-constructed stone-by-stone mortared wall, past the dust and dirt, was a beach I knew well. White sand triumphed by red sand bluffs, pink wild roses, blackberries, blueberries, wild raspberries we used to pick for Grandma to make pies with. White sand leading you to a rushing into the Bay Creek our parents and friends used to crab and eel in before they settled down to their mysterious all-night nude, drunken, brash beach parties we could never attend until we were old enough. White sand getting wetter, wetter, softer, softer, till you could hear yourself crunching and crackling fiddler crab holes, looking at your great size, even at 11 years old. Emerald beach flies buzzed. Big you slapping them away continuously, no great trouble, fun in fact. You looking towards an interminable stretch of tidelands marsh green, that stretch you knew all the way to the East Hampton Golf Club, where Stewart tripped into the mud one sweaty afternoon collecting cattails to dry and burn to keep away the mosquitoes. Or so we told ourselves, any excuse for adventure. Crossing the rushing into the Bay Creek played into more white sand. Only here in the basement, only here in the wine cellar, only here past the well-constructed stone-by-stone mortared wall, where there used to be a vast to the eye and ear tidelands marsh, was an endless desert that led me on and on, strangely trudging, inexhaustible. Both of us, me and the desert, the sun always bright, scorching, daring my searching eyes, only horizon to see, white sand level as the base of a triangle, stretching and lazy intent. And it really didn't matter. I walked it. Lord, how I walked it. Inexhaustible, searching eyes, sun in searing yellow, orange, red, white, always in the same spot. I walked it, Lord, I walked it alone, trudging, gazing, searching, listening to the silence of my feet on the sand, blistering, bearable footage of quiet intent. And it really didn't matter that I didn't know where I was or where I was going, because I was there and I was doing it. No questions asked. The sun looked at me and I looked at it. There was no room for agreement or disagreement. I was doing it, no questions asked. The sun, white hot, sun-sodden and silent, was doing it, no questions asked. And that's what it was. No mirages, no temptations, just doing it dryly, endlessly for a long time, in a day that lasted a lifetime, a millennium, an epoch. Doing it on the desert in the sun that always burst from the same spot in the sky, about the size of an onrushing, just about to collide planet, on the white sands that told you nothing forever. Until it occurred to me. It was uncanny. I didn't have to repeat it in my head. Nothing changed except my direction. I had not chosen it, nor had I not chosen it. It was not chosen. It was a change of direction on this eerie desert. I watched myself come from the same way I had gone. No questions asked. The sun in the eyes of looking at me, coming back to where I didn't know. I was looking at me, doing it. Only horizon to see, sun always bright, scorching, daring my searching eyes. No mirage, no temptations, endless stretching, white silent sands, level, gritty, perfect plain, inexhaustible. Both of us, no room for emptiness or fullness. I was doing it endlessly, leading me on and on, looking at myself, strangely, trudging. And the creek whispered. The creek whispered. The creek whispered. I was doing it, crossing it, inexhaustible and quietly glad I was doing it. Swift bayward tug at my knees, calves, ankles, toes, and white sand of a beach I knew well, past the creaky door echoing the statistical mush, the slump pup tent, the furnace with a hole in the side, past war games and coal dust, up creaky wooden hallways, threatening to betray you cellar stairs into the bright baby blue hallway leading to the wrought iron gate I walked through, into the streets of Brooklyn to play another game of you show me yours, I'll show you mine, inexhaustible.
Yeah. All right.